So welcome to the LawyerFair Daily Podcast. My name is Andrew Weaver from LawyerFair, and today we are chatting with Peter Rouse from Privitus. Welcome, Peter.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
I'm very well, although Peter has told me in the preamble to this that his office or his house is in the beautiful Devon countryside in Totnes, and you've just shown me the view from your study window, Peter, so I'm actually deeply jealous. But apart from that, I'm feeling great.
Well, it's nothing like working from home and working in a good environment where I can nip down to the Dart River and have a quick scull if I want to get some air in my lungs. So, but thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk about Privitus. I'll just crack on if that's all right with you.
Yeah, please tell us what it's about.
Right. Well, it's essentially Privitus brings an end to reliance on email to keep track of important communications. Email has been great. I've worked with it since I remember the early 90s when clients of mine during my period in the law were telling me that, email's rather insecure, but you know what, we just have to work with it because it's the only way we can work now. We need to move quickly, etc., etc. So we moved across to email, and it is immensely powerful. It's immensely helpful. But when it comes to keeping track of who has said what to whom and when, email becomes something of a nightmare. Everybody organizes, I certainly do, everybody organizes their email differently. I spoke to a partner in a very large London law firm a few months back who told me that he had over 17,000 emails in his inbox, and he just used a search tool to find them. Now everybody will find their ways of working around a record of who said what to whom and when. But the thing with email is that we will initiate an email, I send a message to you, Andrew, you reply to that, and I reply to you. And that's great, so we can see what I said to you, what you said to me, what I said to you. Problem is that the next thing that will happen is I'll forward a separate email to you, or you'll start a new email to me, and we'll have to bring those all together, and you'll do it in your way and I'll do it in my way. Now what Privitus does is to create a single secure environment in the cloud that organizes conversations using what we now are familiar with in the context of social media, the group concept. So I invite you, Andrew, I may invite, and you may invite others. We bring a number of people together in a group that want to talk about the same thing, which in a legal context would be a particular transaction or a bit of litigation or whatever the subject matter is. And we have that conversation together, and that is kept closed, and we can all see what we said to each other because everything is published and recorded in reverse chronological order. Now, if you then wanted to have a separate conversation with someone else that I am not privy to, you can create a separate group within what we call a case record and invite people to that group and have separate conversations with people in that group. You can then interleave the communications from all the groups that you belong to and see who said what to whom and when in the context of all of those communications. So it takes away all of the problems that people have day in and day out with email. It also considerably reduces the risk of sending emails to the wrong people.
Well, I'm giving Peter a signal over Skype here that's brilliant. But we do have a kind of 5 or 6 minute time limit on these daily podcasts, Peter. And you're so enthusiastic about this. When we've had a chat before this recording, and there's so much that I mean, it's a very intuitive process. I have to say, having gone through a brief test this morning with Peter, and my own experience, Peter, with corporate deals and data rooms and trying to coordinate lots and lots of different people, it is a mess. It is a mess and it's difficult. And therefore, I really do think that you've hit on something here that is and could be very useful indeed.
Well, it manages documents as well, so that when we send emails, we very often send documents as attachments to those. And what Privitus does is to not only organize the conversations by group, and so that you can see individual messages and the documents that were attached to them and view those documents, but you can also then see documents published in each group that you belong to, organized in a separate table, and review those separately as well. So it's keeping the chat, if you like, and the relevant documentation, all of it easily organized, easily recoverable, and it creates a permanent record.
No, I mean, I do like it very much, and dare I say that not every lawyer or professional is the most organized person in the world. So I would expect and hope that it would be a huge value add for those that are involved in these kind of multi-people, crossover components with accountants and lawyers and clients and brokers or wherever it might be. So I really do get it. I think it's a great service. What someone wants to get more information, Peter, obviously you've got a website.
Yeah, you can go to privitus.com. There's a little video there on the front, which is rather focused at the moment on barristers, but it'll give you a good idea of how to make it work. There is some useful links, I think, on the top. You'll see a link to.
That's an important point, Peter. Yeah. Actually, this is very much not just a barrister's side, is it? This is available to all professionals.
Absolutely not. Anybody who wants to use it, really. Yeah. Any business professional. It could be with a lawyer, with an accountant, with a surveyor.
A project focused on
professionals, really, where the professional work product is communication. It's embodied in communication and documents.
Yep. Well, Peter, as I say, I think it's a really interesting service and product that you've got there. So thank you very much for sharing some time with us today on LawyerFair.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to pitch it, and congratulations on your service as well.
Well,
Andrew, it's an excellent service.
Well, thank you very much. Do enjoy a bit more of that Devon countryside today.
I will do. You do. You have a good day too.
Thanks, Rob. That was the LawyerFair Daily Podcast. I am Andrew Weaver, and goodbye.